Welcome back.
Yep.
Alright, so the party split off, did all their little things. Bjorn saw Skink Man. Daario was a crusty priest that found a potential lead to make some money. Drea, Kyla, and Harakai discussed Drea's past, and Daario, you kind of just were in your own world, hovering around the group, but eventually made your way down to the docks, waiting for the rest of the party. So, as you guys all gather on the dock, you've asked around for Boris, and you've been pointed in the right direction of a shorter, bold man, probably in about his 40s, barefoot, trousers rolled up, sleeves rolled up, as you guys see him sitting on a boat, on a small rowboat that's being tied off to the wharf, laid back on a bundle of supplies, feet crossed over, as he smokes on a pipe. Just breathing his smoke up into the evening sky.
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
We were sent to meet Boris.
Boris, hi, that's me.
Right. Captain Maverick was wondering if you could ferry us to the Blue Horizon.
No?
Yes.
I suppose so. Hop on.
Thanks.
Are we all done? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good point, actually. Are we going out there right now?
What's the time?
It's like,
It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
alright, maybe we spend the night.
Sunset time, as the sun's low in the sky, a golden horizon, and gleaming sunlight shines off the water.
Yeah, we're going now.
Let's go. You look like a Boris.
Oh, thank you. My mom said that.
I'm not sure it's a compliment. You look like a Boris.
Well, you look like a fucking ginger.
She just rolls her eyes.
Anyway.
What's wrong with gingers?
Oh, you got a soft spot for the girl.
No, I'm a ginger. You bloody idiot.
Oh! Couldn't tell, I'm actually colorblind. Anyway, hold on. So you guys are joining the crew, or initiates, or slaves?
We're just inspecting the ship.
Inspecting the ship. Captain Maverick would not let you inspect the ship.
Well, she did, and we're here.
Okay, well, you're lying bastard, because she already sent notice to me that you're to be confined to your quarters. You're staying the night. So, that's why I don't like gingers.
We're inspecting those corners specifically. Thank you.
Fucking gingers. Anyway, sit tight, I'll roll you out. Anyone got some spare tobacco?
I like this guy.
Drea's gonna look in her pack.
So you carry leaves and stuff around?
So she would have some.
Yeah.
Take this as a peace offering, Boris. You know what? There's nothing wrong with gingers.
There's nothing wrong with you, my dear, but that lying ginger slippery bastard. Can you light a packet for me and give her a light for me? It's good stuff.
Fucking Boris's. She picks it apart.
No, you pack it in tighter. Bit more. You've got the whole bag. Yep. Yeah, top it off.
You gotta pay for it. If you want extra.
How much?
Oh, how much really?
That's alright, I'll just smoke this.
Puts it back in her bag.
It's about a 15-minute trip as Boris begins telling you the story of his birth and how difficult it was on his mother because of his abnormally large head, which seems quite normal to you guys. And after 15 minutes of him droning on, you guys are ferried to an impressive sized galley. It's 3 decks with 6 guns on either side 2 masts, and you can see what looks like to be about 40 crew coming up and down onto the decks of the Blue Horizon as a rope is thrown over, or the netting is thrown over for you guys. And you guys climb aboard the Blue Horizon. Boris climbs up after you guys and leads you guys down to the lowest level of the Blue Horizon, unlocks the door and opens it up for you guys. It's a fairly small room. There's a small table and chairs in the middle with 3 bunks on either side, hammocks hanged up on top of each other with a small window. And you guys realise you guys are right at the back of the ship and staring out into the goldish water as the ship slowly rocks back and forth. Alright, stay in here, no lollygagging, and if you want to piss, it's at the front of the ship. There's no real privacy, my lady, but you'll get used to that.
You can get that. Thank you.
Adios! And he closes the door behind you guys.
This is
And you hear him
beautiful.
stomping up. And you guys are left in the dimly lit cabin that's lit by 2 lanterns on either side of the room as the cool breeze comes through the open window. What would you guys like to do?
What, is there any furniture?
There's a small table and chairs in the middle, and then 3 bunks either side. And then there's a small, almost like a study desk that is, it's just a plank of wood with chains that hold it up underneath the window.
I dibs, and she goes over to the bunk bed. She's like, not the bottom one because you guys will probably fart and fall on me. Not the top one because if we rock, I'll fall on
As
you.
is like pointing with you as you point to each one, buddy.
The middle one? The middle one.
And he climbs off your shoulder, climbs up the side of the wall, climbs onto the string, and then in the hammock, and you just see him disappear.
Is it comfy?
You see him come up at the edge, and he just shakes his head.
Thought so.
Do you say there's hammocks as well?
Yeah, the hammocks. Like the bunks that are hammocks, sorry.
Well, the bunks are
Yeah,
hammocks.
they're like
oh, yeah,
3
yeah,
on top
I
of
see
each
what
other.
you're saying. Yeah.
I did the top one. And Kylo kind of like throws his bag on top of it.
Are you all going to bed?
No, it's too early.
I just had a nap. I am exhausted, but I just had a nap.
You see as climb off the bunk and go to the windowsill where the sun beams through the glass onto the edge and a bit into the room, and he just curls up in the sun and just seems like shake a little bit as he sits there bathing in the warm sun as he just watches you guys, and you just see his eyes slowly like blinking as I just close, and he just puts his head on the ledge.
Do we have our packs with us? Awesome.
Tony just looking out the window, he's going to say over his shoulder,
Drea, you seem to know a little about a lot. Do you know anything about a chalice?
Well, I know the chalice that Maverick was reading from. I was thinking of stealing it, but
No. This one seems more important somehow. Lost in a forest.
I can't help you, sorry, Harry.
You couldn't ask the grass?
Well, we're on the sea.
I mean,
I could ask the fishes, but I don't think they would have been in the forest.
you could ask the fishes too.
Yes, I can ask a lot of things.
Right.
Mm.
Is she like, can I do a like another?
Alright?
I'm full on like hard judging you right now. Oh, that's a bad one.
Let me
7.
No, she seems to be telling the truth.
Let me reiterate. Someone is willing to pay a good 2,000 gold dragons to retrieve said chalice.
That's a lot of money.
2,000 gold dragons.
Did you get a description?
Of the chalice?
Alright. Can I make a history check?
Go ahead.
Oh, dang.
With the information that you have from Darlene, it could be anything.
I don't know, sorry, Colleen. Maybe if you get like a description, a drawing.
How big is the forest?
You guys don't know what forest.
I know. The man.
But the closest forest to you guys, so you guys know now, is the Lorien forest.
Okay, so that's pretty big.
Daario would walk over to the desk and start trying to put the letter back together.
Actually, like seal it and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright. Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, yeah, let me help you with that. And if Daria lets me, I'll cast Mending on the seals to try and seal them back together.
Nice.
I will.
Alright. So you heat up the seals as Daario packs all them back in order they were in, and pressing it back down, and then holding it up to the light from the window. You're happy with your work. It looks like it hasn't been opened.
Good enough for you?
Perfect. And then I try my best to put it back
Oh,
together.
if he's using mending, that's fine.
So I got 24.
Oh, cool. Well, you packed it in the right order.
And then I want to get my dagger. What do you say those candles?
There's lanterns with candles in there,
Yeah, like heat up the dagger, try and like reset the wax.
which is what Thalian's already done with, Harukai's done with mending.
That's right. Awesome.
So, Andreas is on the ground next to like where Az is on the window.
Mhm.
What's the plan?
Well, we have 3 leads on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Maverick, which I think is the last resort. Pegleg is asking for 1,500 gold. I don't know if we can even muster that between us between now and tomorrow.
Sounds rude, anyways. Who names himself Pegleg?
Yeah, I know. His leg was cool though. Yeah. Anyway, and our last offer is Lord Gimmick. If we return the documents, he said he could give us a ship, but in getting that ship, we'd also need to attain our own crew with our own funds. So, my personal opinion is Maverick, last resort. Pegleg is a secondary option if Lord Gimmick doesn't work.
Either way, with Pegleg or Gimmick, we need money.
An able crew. Many a captain has said that they would not travel to the Guardian's graveyard. They wouldn't risk their ship or their people.
Remind me again, how much time do we have before Pegleg leaves?
Tomorrow morning.
That's a very short amount of time.
Daario, what's the likelihood of securing a ship?
I wouldn't know until I talked to him.
I mean, given time, I know a way we may be able to secure, say, 2,000 gold dragons. For either a crew or a big leg.
Kyla walks to the window. How far away is the window from the water?
It would be about just over 60 feet, probably close to about 70 feet. Oh no, sorry, it'd be about 30 feet.
And what's your plan? And Kyla's just playing around shaping the water.
Hmm?
We're looking outside.
Well, by the sounds of things, it doesn't seem like we'll have enough time to collect the funds for Pegleg unless we already have it now. So, I don't mean to be rude by asking, but if we all put our funds together, would we even have near enough?
I have a bit, but nothing like that. I need to save some for reserves, just in case if Mikuil needs it. But I think I could spare 400.
Well, I have 50.
I have -2 silver. I say as I give Drea her money back.
I have 2 silver. No, I have more. I have 100 gold.
100?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We could put 500 forward.
It's 1,000. Daario?
I think I've got about 600.
So we could do it if we really wanted to, and I don't know. I'm not spending your money for you, but I would greatly appreciate any help we can get to get.
Of course, I mean,
You're not keen on Maverick's offer, are you?
The way I look at it is a ship is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or we could go with Peglek, which is $1,500.
Gold.
In the airships we use dollars. It's a much better currency.
Benjamins.
Not to mention the complications it will bring to your people.
Exactly.
Surface dwellers having an airship and all.
Exactly. Based on simple math, I think you can tell it's not a good offer.
Yes.
A last resort, most certainly, but I think we need to explore our other avenues first.
I mean, there is another suggestion. We could always. There's got to be a notice board or something. Do some odd jobs.
We wouldn't have the time between now and tomorrow. And again, if it's money we seek, all we have to find is an old haggard priest who's offering 2,000 gold dragons for a chalice.
But even that takes too much time. Even now, the Four Swords, my teacher, they could all be at each other's throats.
Would you rather give up a ship?
No, but what I'm saying is we have the funds now. We have an opportunity with Lord Gimmick, and I would prefer we explore those first before we give away hundreds of thousands of gold worth.
I agree with Daario.
I mean, it makes sense.
Daario, should we accompany you to Lord Gimmick? I'd be happy for another feast before we leave.
I believe next time I go, I should go with maybe alone, or with one or two people.
Great. Luckily, I'm just one. Anyone else want to be two?
I'll go.
So long as there's a feast.
And I'll hand you 500 gold.
I don't think that'd be a fist.
Hold on to it for now. Let's just see if Lord Gimmick works out.
A feast is about all that would pull me away from these seas.
I appreciate the offer though, but
Alright.
I'm sorry, but
Don't be surprised if I gamble it away.
you shouldn't
I'll
do
try
that.
to bring the cake back here, if there is any.
Alright. Plan?
Let's go see a stuck-up lord.
Let's go. But before we leave, I'm going to put a gold piece on the desk and play my blood bond, because I don't know if I've done that today.
Nice.
Is everyone gonna go to sleep now?
It's only like back to its clock now, so the sun's still setting.
Dre's really tired.
We could, no, if we're not going pig leg. Oh no, wait, yes, that's what we want to
Illusion
take.
that you casted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
I've dispelled that, by the way. I'm just not following it.
Okay. Drea. Drea's just gonna get up and be like, okay, Thallium. She's gonna look at Thallium.
Aye.
Yes, no, I can remember quite right. And Drea is going to use... Oh, wait, hang on, sorry. Never mind.
Spit it out, woman!
You are a mystery.
She always acts like this.
Actually, yes. She's going to look at Thalion and she's going to be like, do you remember the priest's name by any chance? The one that you stole his identity?
Some Elise or something.
Right.
Very
What the hell?
feminine.
You just looked dirty to me. But all good. Well, good night. Drea's gonna turn to the window and jump. And she's gonna cast Wild Shape to turn into a crow. Yes. And she's gonna go scan to try and find this priest or any sign of the chalice that she can find. Because if they need the money.
Nice.
Was she?
Surprise!
So you guys just what? And before she hits the water, you guys don't hear splash, and then you just see a black crow fluttering its wings as it banks left
What the?
around the ship.
As she leaves, it was you! As she like flies away.
So that's for 4 hours, so I just want to go scan like the priest, the chalice,
Yeah.
anything like that, and then
Okay.
come back after 4 hours.
Alright, I'll take it. Fine.
Oh, so you would have seen the priest other than on me, by the way, because when you were all crow, the priest was down in the alley.
Cool.
Well, she
That's
can
cool.
do that.
Forest witch.
I mean, on this topic, what do we think of?
Wait, where's as?
He's still up.
Asleep on the.
Oh, he's still there.
Yeah.
That's cute.
You do.
her?
It's mine now.
Well, she's not here. What do we think of? Drea? I mean,
Terrible fit.
I go to
You
the.
should close that window. Make sure she doesn't get back in.
I go to the middle hammock on the left and go to sit down.
The one that I picked.
Oh.
oh my god. So, probation period, getting the cut. I mean, I know you hate her, but anyone else?
I just don't understand her. As Carla cuts a little bit and then puts that on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like her lizard.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I don't know.
Bit of a troublemaker. She reminds me of me when I first met you guys. I think she'll grow on us.
I just think that her intentions.
Sure.
are very confusing.
I suppose we have more pressing matters.
She's still on probation. We can decide this one.
But I mean, if she can't be trusted, I'm not sure if we want to take her on this journey with
Well,
us.
about that, I don't think she's out here to betray us or anything.
But I don't believe a single word she says.
No, not at all. A lot of white lies in there.
Az, what do you think?
As you turn around to face Az on the windowsill, you realise he's got one eye open, listening to you guys, and as you turn around, just shut his eyes.
Oh, come on, you can be honest with us now.
Just opens his eyes and turns around on the windowsill.
Right. Well,
And slowly opens an eye again as you guys start talking.
So as I'm looking at you, I'm like,
well, if Az likes her, I like her.
see if I get a reaction.
You see a small smile. He's clearly not asleep, and he's just sit there with you guys. So
Anyway, are sure there won't be a feast?
I still think they're cleaning up from the last feast.
Well, if they do have cake,
And I rummage around my sack and I bring out the chest.
I'm sure they can reuse this.
Did you not eat the cake or the
It's just moldy.
Okay, just sweaty. Like, the frosting's like melting. It's still probably edible, but you know, it's been bagged out in the sun.
And through the sewers.
Yuck. Yuck.
It seems like the cake's only good whilst it's in the palace. Must be enchanted or something.
I'm just gonna nod my head yes.
It might come back good when you step in.
Shall we go?
Yes. As I walk out, I'm like, oh wait, I gotta put my stuff down. I hide the chest like under the hammock somewhere. Put my stuff up on the top bunk.
Cool.
Alright, so who's going to Lord Gimmick's?
Okay.
Daario and Bjorn? Alright. So, as you guys make your way out the room, back up the stairs, there's a few sailors that, you know, give you guys some greeting. Most of them are, looks like the ship is getting prepared to sail off as they strap down supplies, like fresh water and things like that onto the boat. And you guys get up onto the top level and see Boris reclining in a coil of rope, feet up in the air, smoking whatever Drea is giving him. As you guys open the door to the deck, you guys just see him look up at you, eyes red, and just smiling at you guys.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I followed him out to the deck and I'm just gonna help out on the deck.
Okay, yep.
So that wasn't a back that she gave him.
Greetings!
I wonder what he's having.
Yes. Can you ferry us back to the shore?
Yes. Boris can for you back to the shore. And he gets up stumbling as he gets the crew again to lower the rowboat. As he stumbles over the side, gets his leg caught in the netting, falls off into the water, and climbs up onto the rowboat. And he's just humming to himself the whole time. It's a lovely day.
It is.
You know, you are quite handsome.
Oh.
If I had hair like that, the ladies would be swooning.
Does he have any hair?
He's bald.
Nonsense. The shiny scalp works for you.
You think?
Yes.
Can I touch your head?
No. Could you ferry us?
Huh?
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yes. And he was like reclining on the boat and gets back up, grabs the oars as he just starts singing, throwing you guys back, pipe in his mouth. And it's a long go sailing.
While
This
he's
is
singing,
good.
I'll just.
And he stops like multiple times, just in open water, and just stares at you guys.
Is his pipe there?
His pipe's in his mouth. And he just stares at you for like a good 30 seconds, eyes red, without saying anything.
When we got to the shore?
No, he's just in open water. And then just starts rowing
Boris! No!
to the blue
To the
horizon.
shore! To the shore. Take us to port.
Did I not drop you off already?
Clearly not. To the port, please.
When a sailor goes sailing. And eventually, the trip that took 15 minutes takes 30 minutes as
Oh my
he
God.
goes around in circles a few times before zigzagging his way back to the harbour. You guys come up on dock and begin making your way to Lord Gimmick's estate. What are the rest of you guys? So you're helping out on ship? Are you guys doing anything while this is happening?
Jess?
I'm on the ship helping out.
Right.
Jess?
Chess?
Chess. Want a game of chess?
Sure.
Have you played before?
I see my dad play. I know that the horse has an L shape.
I'll take you through it.
Okay.
You played
After 45 minutes, so you guys just gonna walk there, secure passage. There's plenty of carts and stuff that you guys can pay for, or do you guys just want to walk there?
Is it far?
It's about 45 minutes via cart, so it takes you probably about an hour and a half walk.
I was gonna get the horses from the stables.
Okay. And you don't have a horse though.
Shut up.
Oh, could we have brought our horses onto the boat?
Why?
Because I like my horse.
I mean,
I like my horse. Too.
I like.
No, well, I mean, we're just staying the night.
Your horse will
Oh.
destroy the boat.
Oh yeah, we're not going tomorrow. Yep. We're not paying for stabling or anything though. Are
You
we?
guys haven't paid for this day.
Okay.
How much is it again for a
Pay
day?
for stabling for you there.
It's a silver per horse.
How many horses do we have?
5. Yeah.
So you want to go pick up the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so the stable boy, you guys make your way back across the crowd into the stable. And the stable boy sees you guys and you approach and tells you guys that you guys are owing for today if you guys want to keep the horses there.
This is for today and tomorrow.
Fantastic. And so we've got a bit of a problem.
What's that?
Oh, no.
One of your horses has murdered another lord's horse. He's actually torn his throat out.
You should send some stones.
And he's quite violent.
Maybe keep him away from the other horses.
Yeah, we've done that. He's broken down 3 stable doors.
Oh my god.
Is he natural? He's shitting a lot as well. There's a lot of blood.
What are you feeding him?
He won't eat straw. What are you feeding him?
You're the best.
Okay, well,
Here's a magic diet.
we haven't let the Lord know yet, but I'm expecting he'll want recompensation for his dead steed.
And how much would that be, do you think?
You're gonna have to take it up with him, but it looks quite expensive.
Look, give him the horse that. Here it is. It is. It's very good horse.
I'll relay the proposition. You guys get your horse out there for stabling. As you can see, they're just dragging out a carcass of the horse. Its throat's just been completely torn out.
Oh my
I'll pay for the Lord's stabling as well. As a good.
We're not stabling him anymore. We're gonna probably bury him.
Trying to be nice.
Where's that stick?
And after 45 minutes and pure shock, you guys eventually make your way back up to Lord Gimmick's estate. The gates are still open as the guards let you guys through. And as you round the fountain, the same butler comes out as a... Oh, you don't have a horse, so you're riding, or do you call Shadowfax up on the road? Yep, cool. And I'm guessing you just spell it before you come up to the estate.
Yeah, sure. If they're going to be alarmed by it, sure.
Yep, the same stable boy comes and takes your horse as the same butler comes out. My Lord Daario, my Lord Ulfin.
We are here to see Lord Gimmick.
Yes, of course. He was expecting you this morning.
Yes, tell him I have good news.
Very well. I'm glad to see it is only you two. This way?
Is he looking at us?
Yes.
Like, even, like,
Oh no, he turns around and starts leading you guys through.
can anyone see us?
But there's not a lot of people around now.
Alright, cool. Because I want to summon my eagle,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to give it the documents and its talons, and to fly out and wait for my command.
Okay. You summon the eagle, grabs the documents from you, and you see it fly up over on the roof. As you guys make your way in, you wait for about 5 minutes in the foyer below before he comes back, leads you guys up the stairs and into the room that you guys dined in before. The doors are open. You guys are announced, and Lord Gimmick is sitting at the round empty table with Sigismund and Sasuke flanking either side of him. My Lord Valendir, my Lord Bjorn, please come in and have a seat.
Thank you, Lord Gimmick.
I expected you back this morning. I was quite disappointed to not see your return.
Yes, I didn't want to waste your time merely talking about getting the job done,
I see.
so I figured I would just do it for you.
Interesting. So, you have the documents then?
I do have the documents.
Interesting. When did you acquire them, Daario? Sorry, you were supposed to see in the morning before as well. It wasn't this morning, it was the morning before.
Sure.
Was it?
Mm.
Yeah, it was.
How long ago did I get the documents?
No, I don't think it was. It was this morning.
I think it was this morning.
Because didn't we created the mess where we ran away,
Mm.
and then we came back, stayed in the captain's quarters, and then we went after Kyla, sewers, then inn, then forest.
That was the night with the skinks as well.
I think we did
What
it
night
that
with
night.
the skinks?
Like we
How they
went
got
to
murdered, then you guys ran.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that
sorry,
was the
sorry,
the
yeah,
night
it
of
was,
it. It
yeah,
was this
yeah.
morning.
Yeah, this morning.
sometime earlier today.
Interesting. And you did not come to me immediately?
Well,
Not sure if you've seen the posters, my Lord Gimmick, but in your service we are now wanted men.
My service, that had nothing to do with the chaos you caused at the Krusty Krab Inn.
Yes?
News travels fast here, Lord Wolfman.
What have you heard?
Bunch of murdered skinks, trouble with the guards.
well, that had nothing to do with me, I believe.
I'm sure. Someone such as yourself, of course, would not participate in such reckless nonsense.
Of course not.
I'm sorry. This has got nothing to do with me, but are you displeased that we've acquired what you were after? Did you specify the means?
Sigismund. Yes, my lord. Tell me again. When did they acquire the documents? I saw them returning in the morning through the city gates. And when did they go from there? To distinct sailor, my lord. To distinct sailor. And pray tell, what did you do at the distinct sailor with my documents?
We were merely checking up on one of our friends.
Do you know what? The sewers of this town are horrible, alright? And that's where we had to go to acquire your documents.
Is there a servant nearby?
There's one at the door.
I'll just call out to him and ask him to open up the window for me.
He looks at Lord Gimmick for approval, and Lord Gimmick nods and walks over to the balcony and opens the windows. Sigismund, did you not see them with the documents before Lord Valendir and his friend here went to the sewers? That I did, my lord.
You did not. You are mistaken, Sigismund.
Am I northerner?
Did you see them? The papers?
I saw you with a ginger girl who had the documents.
That was after the sewers. That was all after the sewers? I
It
believe
seems
you
like
have
you've
the
been
information
drinking,
mixed up.
Sigismund.
After the sewers. Yeah, sorry, it says after the sewers.
Right, yes, we acquired the documents earlier today. What point are you trying to make? We've come here now to
My
deliver
point
them.
is, young orphan, that I have suspicion that you may have tampered with my documents.
See for yourself the documents.
I'm offended, Lord Gimmick.
So you should be.
Alright, fine. No documents for you.
Do you have my documents or not?
I do.
Kindly give them to me.
Kindly do not, after he insulted you like that. I'm sorry, but you're an asshole.
Yeah, that's it. No one's gonna. And I'm like,
Sigismund steps forward and Lord Gimmick holds up his hand.
You are.
Bjorn.
He is. This is system.
Please.
I hold your tongue, young pup. You're not in your lands now. Many lords come across an ill fate. I would be very, very heartbroken if we found you one day with your throat slit in the sewers that you claim to find my documents in. Be careful who you play with.
Okay. And be careful who you play with, Lord Gimmick.
With who? Some renegade child running around the countryside.
With your documents. And then I click my fingers and
And you just hear heavy feathers as your eagle lands on the perch of the windowsill. Documents in beak as he cocks his head up at you.
Does it look tampered from there, Lord Sigismund?
It's Lord Gimmick. Sigismund is his centre.
Yeah, I was talking.
Oh, sorry. He turns around and looks at the eagle. They're unopened, my lord, he says to Lord Gimmick. Good. Have your beast bring them to me.
You see, what you said before was quite disrespectful. I would like an apology to myself
An apology!
and my friend, Lord Alton.
He shakes his head in disbelief.
Never mind that, Daario. I do not respect the word of scum like this. Apology or not.
Sigismund steps forward again. That's the last time you disrespect my lord. And he's got his hand on his greatsword and his back. Sasuke is still standing there, long blade in his hand, stone face as he just watches you guys. My documents, Daario.
Look, Lord Gimmick, I don't want things to end on a bad note. I would like to help you and my father, if that is possible, before I hand over the documents.
And how would a child such as yourself help us?
In any way that I can.
We can start by giving you my documents.
I'd signal to my eagle to.
The eagle flies over to you and perches on your shoulder if you don't hold out your arm or anything, and drops his head so you can take the documents from him. Do you slide them across the table? Sigismund walks around the table, eyes locked onto you, Bjorn, as he picks them up and walks over to Lord Gimmick and places them in front of him. And Lord Gimmick picks them up, turns the envelope over in his hands. Good, good. Well, it's been a pleasure, as always. Unfortunately, my ship has already sailed. As I said, you did not return word to me this morning, so I assumed you did not want to accept my favour. However, feel free to take some cake for your friends on the way out.
Is there any other food?
There's no food currently on the table.
I get up. I take a piece of cake for Valiant, and I say, I shall see you soon, Lord Gimmick, but I hope you understand that I did not want this friendship to come apart.
Make your choice or a deception or persuasion.
I hate this guy.
Sigismund is eyeing you up, like just locked eyes with you.
I'm challenging him. Like, bring it. Like, not saying it, but
Yeah.
my eyes.
Not looking away.
Persuasion?
Or deception.
I hope we don't fight because I have no spells.
Natural 20.
Oh, that is
Nice.
good.
Plus 6.
26?
Well said, my lord. Well, you can leave.
I leave.
You get up, pushing your chairs back. Sigismund and Tuskay still by his side as Lord Gimmick stares you guys down. As you guys turn around, the doors are open, and you can just feel his burning eyes on your back.
Just before, like while the doors open, I want to turn around and I want my eagle to fly past and like, try and scare them.
Oh,
Anyone directly, or just over them?
Lord Sigismund mainly.
Okay. You send a command as the eagle flies, and as the doors close, you just hear just a quick pulling of a blade. Like a blade just rings, and then you hear it snap back against its in its scabbard, and you just hear a heavy and a core as the doors close behind you.
Fuck.
You guys are briskly let out, and the doors quite rudely close behind you guys as your horse is brought to your new courtyard, and you guys are ushered out of the gates.
And as we leave, I want to just say to Bjorn, what an asshole.
Yeah. That was a waste of time.
And effort.
And you both here make a perception check.
Oh my god.
5.
1. Natural 1.
Oh no.
Drea.
Yeah.
You fly over the dimming city of Arnell, and within 30 minutes, you find the priest, the real priest, calling out in the street. You hear him before you see him, as you fly and perch on one of the lamps that are now being lit around the city. You watch him for a little bit as he goes from people to people calling out, and anytime he sees sailors or some kind of mercenary group, you see him going up to them and begging for their help. And in return, he tells them that he'll give them a valuable amulet that they can sell for well over 1,500 gold pieces. All they need to do is come with him into the forest, and as soon as he mentions the forest, he gets shot down and people tell him to fuck off.
Okay.
He looks disheartened as he goes around calling up again, and then again anytime he sees warriors or something, he goes back up to them begging for their help, and they just kind of walk away, leaving him there.
I mean, yeah, he's not gonna have money, right?
I have a question about wild shape before I do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I can cast it for 4 hours, but if I go back to my human form, can I keep not cast it again, but go back to that form in the 4 hours? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think when you break it off, then you can cast it again and stay only 4 hours.
Oh, what spell was
So,
summoning your...
Would that be
evil?
another spell slot for the wild shape, or just the same slot?
Yeah, it'd be another one if you
Okay.
break it off.
Sorry?
Someone
Oh.
else?
What level spell was
Did
that?
you?
Uh,
What
it's
else
my
were you
last
looking for?
level 4.
You got a level 4
Just
spell?
any kind
level
of the
three,
talus or him, or just
You
So
like getting as you're following him around, getting from his conversations, it seems like the chalice is in the forest, and he's looking for a mercenary group to go with him to retrieve it.
does he say what forest?
Did you get
He
that?
says
one?
the Lorien Forest.
Sorry?
Lorien forest. So where's
Daario's
that?
last one.
This forest here, and anyone that kind of asks him for a bit more information, he tells them it's west of, I think that's Drea. That's your name. It's something I read it before, Drakno or something.
Okay.
West of that town into the forest.
So how far away is that from the horizon?
So you guys are currently at Arnell in the harbour, so it would be what was it travel for each one of these? Do you remember? I think it was an hour each.
Top right.
Each hex was
4,
Yeah.
I think it was.
Same.
Ooh, good blurry. Or is that just because I don't have my glasses?
Use your internet. Yeah.
so a hex 4.8. It takes you guys.
4.8 kilometers per hour, so it's
Yeah, so it would be 2 hours from the city.
Okay. So basically, Dre just wants to find some way to get some money so that Harakai doesn't have to do this shit, right? How long would I have been in my wild shape?
An hour at most.
Okay. Dre is gonna go to the forest.
You're gonna fly to the forest.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say it's a crow.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Awesome.
West.
Alright.
If I die, guys,
Don't die.
Please don't die yet.
I'll come back with a new character.
Alright. So, I'll ask you guys what you're doing, but as you fly west of the town, it takes you 2 hours. See, your form will break off. Like, it'll take 2 hours to get there, and then 2 hours to get back, so that's 4 hours, so you have to cast it again if you
Yeah.
miss that correct.
Yeah, cool.
So you get there faster than the 2 hours. It's about 2 hours walk, but you probably get there in about an hour and a half flight. And as soon as you get to the edge of the forest, first of all, getting to the town, you realise that the town is quite empty. It looks like most of the residents have fled. And as you get closer to the forest, you just feel a sense of darkness and dread growing in you.
So did you say town near the forest?
Yeah. And there is a familiar stench above the forest, and as soon as it hits your bird nostrils, you immediately recognize the stench as flashbacks almost cause you to tumble from the air before you pick up yourself again. And anger just fills you.
Is it? Yeah. Yes. Cool. Okay.
And you can see their marks all over the forest. Desolation and just corruption of the horde is just clear. You don't know where the chalice is, but you know why the priest needs an escort.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, give me 1 second.
What are the rest of you guys doing? Are you guys heading back to the ship? To the horizon?
I suppose.
Or do you guys want to discuss anything on your way?
Every now and then. Can I do a perception?
I'll allow you to make one.
One more?
On the right back.
What about if I... You said 45 minutes
Sorry?
outside of town,
Outside
right?
of-
Outside of the city.
Yeah, from Lord Gimmick's estate back to the city.
Cool. Maybe I'll get Gaia out as well
Okay.
for a ride,
Alright.
for like a run.
Yeah, as soon as you're back on the road, you because you left her out last time, you call her to you, and within 5 minutes she's at the edge of the forest, following you guys before she comes up onto the road, to kind of greet you before she goes to the other side of the forest. Weaving in and out of the trees, disappearing for 5 minutes, and then kind of coming back.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. So. Dirty 20, that's pretty good. About 20 minutes into your trip, it's getting quite dark now, and not many people have been on this road. There's no one else being on this road. Close to the city, people use it, but up here, it just leads to Lord Gimmick's estate. And as you ride on your horse, you can swear behind you that you hear the heavy footfalls of horses.
Can I tell how many? Are we in a forest?
You're in the forest.
We're out of the forest.
You're in the forest,
Forest is my favourite terrain.
which means
We can't be surprised unless by magical means.
Gaia also cannot be surprised, and if I could do a check with her, she gets advantage on
go ahead.
checks with hearing or smell.
You remain alert to danger even when you are engaged in another activity. You can move stealthily at a normal pace. I said while alone.
You have 15 with Gaia.
Okay, so
Don't you have an effect on everyone else? This speed and stuff as well?
I think it just means like we can't be slowed in tough terrain.
yeah. So there is a clear road here, so you're not going to be slowed anyway. With that check, you think you're pretty sure it's about 4 riders, and it's clear that you're being followed from a distance. And Gaia confirms this as she picks up the scent and flushes you the scent of horses and man, like not the actual thing, but the smell and the smell of sweat of man.
We're being followed.
4, I believe.
I think Lord Gimmick wants to offer you something else.
Possibly a unmarked raid.
Shall we send him a message?
Can I tell how far away they are?
They don't seem to be following you, to catch up to you. They seem to be following you to see where you go.
I can at least loose a couple arrows before they get too close, even as just a warning shot.
But they're keeping their distance. Like they're not trying to keep close. They're trying to stay stealthy just to follow you guys.
If they mean to gut us in this here in the forest, now would be the ideal time before we come back into view of the city.
They could be following us back to the others.
Find out where we're hiding, take us all out.
Maybe quietly as well.
You get the questioning sense of Gaia, and again the excitement of do you want her to still spin? And there's flashes, or that sense of flashes of her jaw around a horse's throat, tearing it down, tumbling with it, before she finishes it off.
So sharing these feelings, I feel my own sort of excitement rise. I'm not used to be the one that's hunted.
What do you propose? Because I believe any possible friendship with Lord Gimmick has been soured.
Hold on. If they wish to follow us, then let them follow us. And I'm gonna create the sound of hooves moving forward for 30 feet as an example to Daario. So like the 2 sets of horses, and I'm gonna get rid of Shadowfax, like send them away, and gonna indicate that we hide in the forest.
You guys move off the road.
Because they're not like within sight of us.
No, they're staying like quite far back and just following you guys slowly. So you guys go off the road into the thick forest either side of you guys, opposite Gaia, who's on the other side of the road.
Wait. Would they be able to hear us even? Or is it more on? Because I might, if they can't hear us, I might create an illusion of tracks.
Yeah, they're probably more going off your tracks because they're trying to stay off sight. You can barely hear them. It was only just from your perception check that you rolled, you could just hear them in the distance. But yeah, tracks would be better, right? Yeah.
Alright, so I will do tracks as far out as I can. And then we'll... I don't want your tracks to show that we're going into the forest.
Can I do...
Pass without trace?
No, I can't do that one. But more like prestidigitation or whatever. To like cover our tracks. Like just constantly after like almost every step.
Could that be done? I could also maybe do air, but I don't know if that would...
You'd be able to, like, you could just do a survival check if you want, like, lead your horse
Slide
into
tracks,
the forest, and come back out and hide the tracks.
Do that. And then make it seem with my illusion that the tracks continue going.
Alright, make a survival check. Up to you or whoever's siding the track.
Do you get advantage in favourite terrain?
I think so.
Survival check.
And I'll just assist.
I get proficiency bonuses doubled when you make intelligent or wisdom check related to it.
I think survivor's wisdom.
Yeah. So double my survival.
Double your proficiency.
Yeah, so...
And I just have to roll over 10? But it's still with the survival skill?
Yeah.
Cool. Natural 19.
So 4 plus 8 would be 12.
12, then your 2 would make it 14. Okay. You're pretty confident that your tracks are quite hidden, and you guys go either side of the forest, and it's about 15 minutes before 4 figures slowly come into shape into the dark. You know, the sun is set now, as they come into view, not talking and just riding slow. All of them are hooded, but one figure larger than the rest stands out, mainly from the great sword that's strapped onto his back. As they ride in silence, slowly following the tracks
Yeah, they're coming close.
as they go past you guys.
I think they want to find the rest and kill us.
And then you just get a flash of Gaia. Because they get the higher her excitement gets, your heart pounding faster and faster as you start to saliva.
I start saliva.
Yeah, you just your mouth just gets wet.
Am I in control?
You're in control, but her excitement, like when they're dead between you guys, her excitement is at a peak. And you can just see flashes of red as she's tearing riders off their horses, tearing them apart, ripping their throats open. The flesh and bone squeezing beneath her jaws gives you that wetness in your mouth as your heart starts to quicken. Your eyes, like almost like not go off, but narrow, like hers. As you just see flashes of red in front of you and screaming of dying horses.
We should strike.
Can I notice anything different about?
His voice, when he says that, it's more of a growl. And you look over to your friend, and he's like hunched up, like you're both, on the ground, but he's almost like hunched over in wolf form, like both hands on the ground as he just stares out. And you can just see mouth open, his teeth wet with saliva. And you can just see his chest heaving.
Put my hand on his shoulder, like, no, it's not the time.
Let us see our tracks end. We should strike.
He looks feral, like a wild animal almost.
Like he's got rabies?
Not like he's got rabies, but he's taking on that element of Gaia.
By the time I come back down, we'll be long gone.
And I slowly continue past you guys, and that excitement starts to fade, turning into disappointment. You know it's not yours, but it's so strong that it's hard to separate those feelings.
I'll turn back once I know that we didn't continue on to the city.
And again, we should be long gone.
Fine. I'll put my axe away. Fine.
Do you guys continue to the city off the road?
I think we should take a longer path.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
That was weird.
What the fuck? So, Harakai's gonna play a couple games of chess with Kyle, explaining the rules.
After halfway through the first game, as it is on the table with you guys, and every time someone takes a chess piece, before you can, when you do the kill, before you can take off the other piece, he runs across the board, snatches the piece in his jaws, throws it around, and then drags it off to the side, and puts it in his waist to the side.
Okay, I'm gonna rip it off
so
and
cute.
stuff it
He
away.
just puts it to the side for you, and then just waits there. As soon as another kill is made, he just launches himself on board and just
Stop
drags
it!
on the side.
Stop! As.
He turns around and hisses at you.
Good boy, Az. That's it. Kill his piece.
No,
We don't like that one.
He's not causing chaos, it's just any time a piece is killed, instead of you guys removing it, he jumps on the board and removes it for you.
At that
It was
specific
so
time,
weird.
he killed the piece that I want. Yeah.
fine. Be gentle.
You can just see little bite marks on your wooden chest.
No! Okay, that's enough. Harakai's gonna pack it up. Well, now you know the rules. Maybe next time we'll play for a bit longer.
Right. Well, that was fun as it lasted.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cool. Yeah?
we are on a big ship,
Mm-hmm.
confined to these small quarters.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some pretty cool stuff out there. Let's go exploring.
Nope.
I thought you were going to be like, you want to see more blue boy?
What do you think, Az?
He looks up at you and just nods his head, and there's just a smile on his face, and he just goes to the door,
No.
looks up to you guys, and then slips underneath there.
Oh! Well,
Wait,
it's too late to say no now.
no, it's a lizard. The lizard's not gonna do anything.
We should go after it. though.
No, we shouldn't. It's Drea's problem. Look, Maverick said to stay in the quarters, don't do anything, and I don't want to get on her bad side because she's a potential lead.
What's exploring the ship gonna do?
Thalian, meanwhile, is on top deck, and you know, the sailors are they're pretty chill. They're not no one really tells you to go back to your quarters, but then as soon as you start helping and they see that you're pretty proficient, they quickly start teaching you shanties for the coming sail if you guys do sail with them.
Yeah, awesome. I pick them up and just sing along with each one
Helping
as I
them
can. And
carrying fresh
I
water
want to learn
barrels.
everything I can while I'm
Yeah.
up there with them.
Yeah, and like seeing that you're strong, they immediately start tasking you to. You can see that every hour or so, a rowboat comes with fresh supplies and stuff, and they task you to loading like the heavy water barrels, and they show you how to secure them and tying them up, and they're a pretty chill group as ale and like gin and rum starts getting passed around the later the night goes.
Awesome. So usually when I feel pretty clumsy and awkward helping, I feel pretty at home here. But when they start offering drinks, I go down with one of my loads with an empty skin and fill it with seawater.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Trying to convince them to try it.
A few of them, you get convinced. Actually, make a persuasion check.
Oh my god.
They all get hooked.
So, 14.
Most refuse you, but there's probably a good 3-4 that take a swig. They don't like it, but 2 of them ended up mixing it with some of their rum, and then drinking that, and they're like, "It's stronger." And then you see him go like get a half empty bottle of rum, go down, fill it up with seawater. I'm like, oh, it's a good way to get last hunger as well.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What? With salt water?
Yeah.
Alright then. You stay here.
No.
And I chase after as.
No. Wait, I need your help with something. You should stay here. You should stay here. I need your help.
You open the door, and as for a second you're shocked as there's this weird shadow that looms over you, and then you realise as it's like standing on one of the lanterns, and it's just like like this with like a mischievous grin on his face, showing his like needle-like teeth as he stands on the lantern. Then as soon as he sees you, he comes down, goes to the stairs, and points up, looking up at you.
Carla, come back. Look, we need to make some gold for, some of our leads. So I would really appreciate your help in making something to sell.
Look, I'm sure you can work it out.
No, I need your magic.
You just see the doors going, as Harukai's in the room, you're outside the room, the door's like, and just starts closing, and you just see Az on his hind legs, just like struggling, pushing the fairly light door, he's just like pushing it close on Harukai, and it's just an awkward, as you're like talking, and the door's like,
Alright, look, I tell you. 10
and
minutes ago.
you guys are now like talking between the cracks. He's like,
10 minutes of exploring, come with us, and I'll help you out. What's 10 minutes? Look, we're gonna be waiting here for hours.
No, but look, if we go and we stuff this up and do something wrong,
Alright. I'll turn us invisible.
that's worse. No, let's just stay. We don't want to go behind potential leads' backs. I mean, Dalian seems like he's I hate you, Az.
you just see, you don't see his head. Oh, sorry, you do see his head, and you just see his tongue poke out before he disappears underneath the seal again.
Oh my god.
I'll be back soon.
As I run up as just
He's just going wild, exploring everything.
Yeah, I'm running after him.
Kids on the surface, I tell ya. Harroguy's gonna get up, and rush out the door behind Kyla.
Awesome. Alright. Bjorn and Daario, you guys, after about an hour and a half, you guys make it back to the main gate, not the gate that you guys left from, the main
That
gate.
would have been a good
with the toll.
opportunity. That's all we were doing.
And
Yeah. Oh, we can
as you guys approach, you're ushered to one of the booths there's no lines or anything now, and you're asked for the gold fee,
Gold fee for what, sorry?
the toll, to enter the city via this gate. That's only one, says the chirpy tollman who's fresh on shift. That's two, in you go. And then he sticks his head out the window and he's like, any of you Lord Valandil by chance, or know a Lord Valandil?
Never met the man before in my life.
Sounds important. Why is that?
Oh, I just got a letter from him. No worries.
Maybe deliver it for him if you like.
That's illegal. I'll keep it.
Do you wanna this letter?
I do have buggy for good try, but hang on.
Enjoy your stay in the great city of Arna. Have you been here before?
Sorry, what did you say the name was?
The city of Arna.
No, the person you're looking for.
Oh, we're looking. I was looking for Lord Valandil.
Sorry, I thought you said something else. He's actually a good friend of mine. And I'll cast Friends, which is a cantrip. If you want, I can actually give it to him.
What does friends do?
You gotta pass a check.
Yeah, for the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile to you. When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you use magic to influence. Oh wait,
Do you go to
Don't read that part.
no. Ooh, what about charm person?
You can use that and make a charisma check if you want to persuade him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you use that cantrip and then you have advantage on a persuasion check, which is charisma.
Does he have to do the check though? See if the spell works?
Does the person have to do the check, or does it go off straight away and just gives you advantage?
No, I
So
think
it's just a cantrip.
I think charmed person does the check, but friends
Just gives you
makes you
advantage.
friendly. But as soon as the spell wears off, you're hostile to him.
No, he.
He just
No,
knows.
you just
realised.
knows,
He just
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
Alright, go if you want to roll it. You can roll it with advantage.
On persuasion.
Come on, Daario.
That one's cocked.
Well, that's cocked. That's off the table.
Okay, get rid of that one. So 15 plus 6, 21.
Nice.
Yep, that sounds like a good idea. My boot's nice and warm, so here you go. Thanks, friend. That's very kind of you.
And then the spell wears off.
Oh, no, when the spell wears off, yeah. Becomes hostile towards
Right.
you, right?
Yeah, I thought so. You should get out of it.
Fell.
Sorry.
Why are you reading it?
So I shall give it to him right away.
Thanks, friend.
This way.
You can
Kevin?
say at the DM's discretion, depending on the nature of
Okay.
your interaction.
Thank you.
Let's go.
You guys are making your way back to the docks, I presume? You make your
Oh,
way.
should we go to the docks or check if they're following us still?
Well, we went through a different gate, but yeah, I would like to keep tracks of them. Can I have actually? I know I should have said this before, but could have had Guy to continue stalking them, keep an eye on them through the forest,
Mm-hmm.
and report back to me what it is they're doing.
Okay, before you guys make it through the gate, she flashes you images of them making it to that gate and making their way into the city.
To the gate that we're at.
To the gate that you guys left from, and like following those tracks.
Yep.
And you see a flash of gold as Sigismund flicks a gold piece to one of the guardsmen, and you see him. He looks like he's trying to get information out of him. Guardsman sends you like a flash image of a guardsman shaking his head, and Sigismund splitting his men up into the city.
Oh, good mate.
They've got a good idea that we're onto them. They're in the city now, and they're spread out, looking for any sign of us. I can disguise myself, but I'm not sure how. You would have to do it the old-fashioned way.
That is what I'm best at sometimes.
Or, now that they're split apart, we can become the hunters again.
Drea, I'm presuming once you have this feeling, do you want to head back? Or what did you want to do?
Drea, can I scan for a place that's like covered where I can just crouch for a little bit?
In the forest?
So you gotta take a dump!
So, you know, being crow, you find a tall pine tree to perch on. As your eyes
She
turn
comes
to
finds
darkness.
Can I cast spells while I'm in my wild shape?
I don't think you can. I think you
Okay.
follow whatever the bird is.
Alrighty, cool. Drea's going to turn back to her human form,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to get out a 10 gold.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to get out 2 black crystals.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to crush some incense from her bag and just slice one of her fingers and rub some blood in it. And then she's going to say... Hang on, guys, this is ready. She's going to whisper, cleansing moon, cast your light, dispense the shadows high. I call on you to heed my cry, awaken sights within. Power my internal eye, make clear what I deny. And she's casting divination. I can ask the deity, and I have to answer truthfully about a goal, an event, or an achievement happening in 7 days. So I'm gonna ask about my goal, and I'm gonna say like, guide me to the chalice, or like, is it here? Like, does that make
Ask
sense?
your
Like the sign
question.
of the chalice.
Yeah, ask the question.
Is the chalice here?
What deity are you asking?
What a cool spell.
Thanks.
The wind slowly swells around you. And as your human eyes now adjust to the darkness as you're perched up into this tree, the clouds slowly part from the moon, lighting the dark forest.
Cool. I'm guessing that.
Before they slowly draw back across the moon.
Okay. Drea is going to follow it.
Oh my
What?
gosh,
Can I
Jackie,
do-
so
Can
cute.
I do a stealth check?
Oh my god.
Takes all the key.
I should have. It's alright, guys. 12.
Okay. Just before the clouds creep across the moon again, you just hear the familiar blood-curdling cry. Doesn't sound quite human, not quite animal, but it's deep and throaty. And it's almost roaring up at the moon for daring to shed its light into this forest.
Can I still connect to my deity?
What would you like to ask?
Is it just one? I'll take it if it's just one.
Out of nowhere, a tree that looked full all of a sudden just bursts up in noise as close to 100 fruit bats just fly up from it, circling around you before going deep into the forest.
Okay.
That's really cool.
That's what you hear.
Okay. How far away is the thing that like the light?
It didn't shine in a specific spot. It just lit the whole forest, confirming that it was in the forest.
Okay. Okay, Drea is gonna go back into a crow. I'm just gonna go back to the ship. No, actually, she's gonna just like try and go around the forest for a little bit, see if she can. She doesn't want to put herself in danger. She's just gonna try and see if she can spot it.
She doesn't know exactly what she's. Obviously, you know you're looking for a chalice, but this is a thick, dense forest, right? So, how long did you want to spend searching for it?
Is it 2 hours back?
Yeah.
An hour.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check. But I think you have to use the crow stats. Oh, it goes first.
Druid can use either one, whichever's better.
Okay.
Well, it was shit anyways. 8.
I reckon a crow would have advantage
pretty
on
good.
perception of the
Can I roll
side.
advantage?
Look it up real quick.
4th average.
You have inspiration as well, so you can roll it.
What's
Oh, cool.
Or you can reroll if you want.
Yeah, you can re-roll if you don't like your roll.
Okay, if I can roll with advantage, I'll do it. If you want to do that.
What do?
She is in her element, boys and girls.
I think it'd be like Raven
Welcome
or something.
to the
I
real
think-
Drea, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
are you a cleric? Could you have like a DD? I don't know. Hope so.
Yeah, that has +3 to perception, so I don't know if that's better than yours.
Are you using
Mine is
crow or
+3
Raven?
perception.
was it +3?
That was correct.
That was just my own perception, +3.
Yeah,
I
so
think
the
it's the
Raven's
same.
the same. Yeah.
So I don't get advantage to roll.
They can re-roll with you.
I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
Like this one.
Send me a inspiration.
Oh no.
12.
Okay. You fly around this dark, corrupted forest for another hour, not finding what you seek, but you do come within 500 meters of a herdstone, which you know what a herdstone is. And around the herdstone, as the night gets darker and darker, the children of chaos slowly start to gather, braying and praying around the herdstone.
How many are
You find this probably about 45 minutes in, you watch for 15 minutes, and slowly their numbers gather, crawling out from where they hide in the forest, and as 15 minutes go past, there's at least 80 there.
there?
It seems like the gathering of fresh wood. As more come, the calls get louder and louder. Eerie and blood-curdling as their chants get louder and louder. And at the end of the 15 minutes, you see them dragging the body of a young girl to the herdstone as they take out a long, rusty, jagged dagger, put a hedge over the herdstone. The blood sprays the herdstone as they all take their heads back and rear out in the darkness in absolute, what's that word when you're like drugs?
Ecstasy.
Yeah, like an ecstasy of blood, sweat, and just dark chanting. Flashes break out in your eyes, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, damn.
What the hell?
Oh!
You see, as the world goes black in front of you for a second and then comes back red and burning, the children of the night running through the forest, spreading out from the forest into the nearby towns, into the cities, into the empire, as everything burns and bleeds behind the tide of hooved feet and blood-soaked fur. You've seen this scene before.
Yeah.
And as you stand there, in place of a little girl, as Rund runs up, bellowing at you, the last thing you see is blackness as he brings down his axe on your head. And you fall unconscious.
What?
Holy shit!
You know what I speak about.
I do know what you're speaking about.
What just happened?
If you fall unconscious, what shape do you take?
Just goes back to our human.
And that is Velvent.
What?
What the shit?
We should have warned you that Abe's is serious when it comes to consequences.
No, wait. Did she
That
just
makes
fall unconscious then?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Well, she doesn't know if she's fallen unconscious. The world just turns blue in front of her.
What?
Alright, your character.
Do you know what happened?
Good
I
to
get
know.
what happens.
Good to know.
That is awesome. That's awesome. I'm not even mad that I'm unconscious. That is so cool. Man.
Do you want to sign us off?
Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys here next Friday. Yeah, wait. Are you guys going to be here next Friday? You'll still be here?
Yeah.
We'll see you guys here next Friday for another epic session of Mythic Wyrd.
Hopefully I'm alive.
Yeah!
What
Oh my
just
gosh.
happened? Hey, Jalo here, aka Harakai Silverbeard. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment your favourite moment from tonight's episode. Thanks for watching again, and don't forget to spread the Mythic Wyrd.